Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I'm your host, Keisha, and I actually have a co-host today. We have Mr. David Lindblom.
Yes, ma'am. Howdy.
David is going to tell us all about something really, really cool that he does later on. But right now, we're going to go into the gab.
We know she has a really big mouth, which sounds kind of dirty, and that's probably true too. Let's gossip. The Gab with Keisha.
Alrighty, so David, you ready to give these people some good celebrity news and gossip?
Let's bring it.
Okay, so David and I were discussing before the show that he has, to my shock, never seen any of the Real Housewives franchise. None of them. He's not seen OC. He's not seen New Jersey, New York, Dallas, Potomac, Atlanta. None of them. Okay,
real shocker. I know.
I know. So one weekend, you're just going to have to come over here and we're going to have to pick one of them
Binge
and we're going to
watch.
watch all of it. Yes. I think New Jersey would be a good one for you to watch. Okay. So speaking of the Housewives, if you guys have been looking at any of the media outlets that cover the stories about the Housewives, Danielle Staub, who's on New Jersey, got married 3 months ago and shit has already hit the fan. Okay. So let's see. Over the weekend, there was some kind of altercation between she and her husband, Marty, where on Monday, Danielle had her attorneys file a restraining order. Really, I think it was more so that Marty could not talk to the press because when he talks to the press, he writes like three-page letters about what's going on in their relationship. So she's really like, I don't want him doing that anymore. Blah, 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 blah. So apparently, once she found out that Marty was going to go ahead and file for divorce, she got pretty pissed off. And that led to Marty filing for a restraining order against Danielle because anyone who knows Danielle, I don't think this is going to be a surprise. He says that Danielle tried to stab him. Would you get a restraining order if you were going through a divorce and your wife tried to stab you?
How long did you say they've been married?
3 months.
How long have they even known each other?
I don't think that long. I think they dated for maybe a couple of years.
I mean, this sounds like not a new behavior.
That's my point. I'm like, okay, he's saying that Danielle goes out, screaming. She throws things. She has an air of entitlement. She thinks she's better than everyone. I'm like, but that's Danielle. Like, did you not see any of that during the whole process, the whole time that you guys were dating?
It makes for good TV, though, right? I mean, that's the whole drama. That's the Real Housewives bringing it out and being drama. That's.
I personally feel like Danielle's being Danielle. She's been engaged 19 times.
That's a pretty good amount of times.
She must be pretty good at something. Maybe
Getting engaged.
Or screaming and throwing things and threatening to stab men. I mean, I've threatened to stab my husband a few times, but I mean, here we are. It's just, he knows my crazy. I've never threatened to stab him. I have stabbed him. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Here's the thing is that these couples, they seem to think that it's a really good idea to take to social media to talk about their problems when they're in the midst of having marital problems.
I'm sure their lawyers love that.
I know. I'm sure their lawyers are like, shut up. Both of you shut up. So I don't know what Danielle is going to do because if you have watched the Real Housewives of New Jersey since the very beginning, when it first came on, Danielle had gotten a divorce and she was really having a hard time financially. So I'm thinking, I don't know if she wants to start kissing Marty's ass or she's going to have to start really, really budgeting with those housewives checks. Otherwise, she's going to be back kind of in the poorhouse per se for a housewife. I don't know.
Unless they had a happy prenup or something set up. Otherwise, she could be sitting pretty afterwards. And
I don't know. I have a feeling that she was wanting to work things out. But, being Danielle, I'm sure she felt as though Marty should be the one to make all the changes. And there was nothing wrong with her. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Good luck, Marty and Danielle. Marty, I hope she don't stab you. I don't know. So
iron that out.
Right? But hey, you know what? If she does try to stab you, I think it would be really cool if it was in front of the Bravo camera so we can all see it next season. So, okay. So speaking of the Housewives, this weekend was the part 1 of the reunion for Potomac. Now, David, I know you didn't see that.
Sorry, I missed out.
For those of you who did see it, I don't know what was going on with the stylist for the women, but they looked like a box of the cheap Crayolas that you get from Dollar Tree. The fashion was not up to par. Candace had on a dress that was way too big for her and shoes that totally did not go with the dress at all. You had Karen over there in what looked like it was supposed to be like a runaway bride dress, and her titties were just hanging on for just dear life. Whatever the tape was that she was using, it was a struggle. You had Giselle, who's beautiful as always. Her dress was great from the back, but from the front, it just was ill-fitting. I don't know. Robin, you guys know I love Robin, but she looked like a man trying to wear a dress for the first time. So she kind of looked like she was in drag. I don't know. And Monique, y'all know I can't stand Monique. She kind of reminded me, what's the movie with who was it? Bruce Willis, Chris Tucker, and it had that blue alien lady who sang opera. Oh, Fifth Element. She looked like that singer. She had the weird hair and they were a hot mess on Sunday. But they stayed on Karen Huger's ass the whole entire time, and I was there for all of it. And what made it so much funnier is that Andy Cohen kept co-signing every single thing that Giselle and Robin said about Karen. And in true Karen fashion, when they were on her ass, she had a breakdown. And it was the fakest of all breakdowns that I have ever seen in my life. She ran off the stage. Now, I will say this. Karen has been through a lot. Her mom passed away. Then 7 months later, her dad passed away. And I can't even fathom the thought. And then, their tax issues, and then her trying to lie about all their tax issues. I think she was due for a breakdown. I don't know. Part 2 will be this weekend. I'll be watching. I may decide to actually live tweet. If you guys are following the Libra Don Shakisha on Twitter, we can talk about it that way. The men will be on there. So we're going to see if Michael, Ashley's husband, always looks like he's mid-sneeze. Like his eyes are all watery. It's just like, I don't know if he did like a line of Coke before he came out. He just always looks like he's about to cry. I don't get it. Of course, they will have the Black broke Bill Gates on there, and it looks like he's going to have some scoop about what's really going on with Michael and Ashley's business and their finances. So we shall see. So I promise you, no more Real Housewives talk.
All right.
Let's move on to another drama queen, Omarosa. Now, have you been following this whole story?
I have not.
Okay.
You'll have to catch me up to date.
So basically, I'll make it real quick. So, Omarosa was on The Apprentice, which Donald Trump was the host. That was his show.
I actually saw that one.
Okay.
A few reality shows I've actually seen.
Bro, I'm so proud of you. Yay. Okay, so, once Trump went into office, he hired Omarosa. I can't even remember what Omarosa's actual title was. Anyway, the bitch got fired. So, she's an angry Black woman talking shit about Trump, and she has now written a tell-all book. And apparently she is saying that she has recorded conversations with Donald Trump where he is heard using the N-word. I'm just going to say this. Omarosa, when you start working for Trump, you totally lost your Black card. So the Black folks, we don't want you back. You could stay on over there with Trump. But here's the thing. Trump is crazy. I think she better stop, or we're going to find her somewhere floating in a river. That's just me. What do you think? Do you think it's wise for a woman who really no one knows her, outside of she was on The Apprentice, then she was on Celebrity Big Brother. She was engaged to Michael Clark Duncan, who, I'm tired, boss, from the Green Mile, and, working for Trump. Some people don't even know who Omarosa is. Do you think that it's smart for her to try to go up against Trump?
It's only when he starts tweeting about it you have to start worrying about it. So let's go look at the tweets.
He's been tweeting about it.
He's been tweeting about it. Start sweating about it.
Is it odd to you that we have a president that is so active on the Twitter, as I call it?
He puts questionable content out there.
He really does. I mean, when he puts stuff on Twitter, it makes you forget for a second that he's the president. You're just like...
He needs to have a PR person doing his Twitter versus himself.
Well, he does. He has a few.
It makes for its own entertainment.
Well, he actually has people that their job is to monitor what he tweets about. They're not doing a very good job. They need to be fighting. Because what are you going to do? He's the president. He's like, no, I'm going to tweet. No, give me your phone, Donald. What can you do? Yeah. So, I don't know. Omarosa, girl, you in danger. And the black folks, we ain't going to rescue you on this one. Sorry about it. Okay, so I know you know all about Nicki Minaj and Safari, David, right?
I have followed on that one a little bit.
Okay, so this is funny, guys, because my co-host is not a cusser. And you guys know that I am a cusser. I'm going to try real hard not to cuss as much. But there's no way that I can say what I'm about to say without using a cuss word.
I'm not telling you not to.
Okay, so Safari.
It's your show.
Okay, it is, isn't it? Thank you. So, okay, Safari. Okay. We all know about the gray sweatpants. So... after Safari and Nicki broke up, Safari was all up in the gym working on his fitness, and he took a photo of himself with gray sweatpants on. Safari has an anaconda. See, I did it. I didn't cuss. When she wrote the song Anaconda, she was talking about Safari. I don't care what Nicki says, because that boy was packing. I thought about that picture like for a week. I was just like, oh my God, I didn't know they came that big, but apparently they do. I'm married to a white guy. Producer James didn't find that to be humorous. So anywho, Nicki and Safari, for some odd reason, they started beefing this week over Twitter. Here we go again. Okay, so this time,
is she looking for a #1 single again or something? Because, have they not been together since 2004, I think it was?
David, you
I know the entertainment industry, maybe a little.
You are getting brownie points with me.
Oh, right.
You really, really, really are. Your wife better watch out. You may come home with a black girl tonight. Okay, so yes, David's absolutely right. They have not dated in a while. She went on to date Meek Mills. Now she's single again. She was flirting with John Mayer a few months ago. But anywho, they got into a Twitter beef the other day where Nicki was saying that Safari stole her credit card and just used it. And, he told her, well, I didn't think that, I had to ask or whatever. I'm like, if I was dating Nicki Minaj, I'd be spending her money all damn day too. So anyway, then Safari comes back and he's like, oh, so, okay, that's how you want to go. Remember when you stabbed me? And not only did she stab him, like he almost died. They had to rush him to the hospital. And when he got there, he lied for Nicki. And he told them that he had tried to commit suicide so that Nicki would not get arrested. Do you think that's true?
If somebody commits suicide or attempts to, they have they put you on watch or they give you
do.
medication or you have to go see a doctor. There's other follow-up to that. So it seems weird that he would make that claim and then just disappears, because they would follow up with that, realize, okay, that doesn't seem to fit the bill.
Right.
And then maybe she did.
Nicki's kind of crazy. And what does she have? Isn't she's part Trinidadian, or how do you say? I'm sure I messed that word up.
It's some kind of
island. You know, crazy. The island women, they're a little bit crazy. You live on an island where there's crazy. Galveston. You can always tell Galveston black folks
there's plenty
anywhere
of crazy
you
there.
Go. You literally can see someone that's from Galveston, and you can be in Dallas. You're like, they from Galveston. It's just something about islanders. I don't know what it is. I'm going to say that I don't believe Safari had to be taken to the hospital, but I do believe that Nicki stabbed him.
Is there any stab that you wouldn't go to the hospital for?
I don't know, James. I've stabbed you 5 times, and you've only gone to the hospital for 3 stabs.
Apparently, the kind of stab his anaconda does, you wouldn't go for the hospital.
No. That is a welcome stab that I will take any old time. Okay, moving along. So everyone has been talking this week because the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, is gravely ill. It has been reported that she is down to 85 pounds. And that's crazy because Aretha's titties have to weigh at least 79 pounds by themselves. They're huge. But anyway, it's so funny because, you know, I'm Facebook friends with my mom and my aunt. So then I'm friends with their friends as well. And every Black woman has had Aretha Franklin dead 20 different ways the last 3 days. So when she finally does die, I'm like, who's going to believe it? Like, y'all have had her dead. They literally have had the funeral planned. The woman is still alive, people. She's still alive. I don't think she's on hospice care. I don't think she will be around much longer, but for right now, she is still the living queen of soul. So, you know, it was kind of funny, just going back and looking at Aretha's history. You know, she had her first baby at 12 years old. And then she had, most people say, 12, it was a mistake. She learned, but then she had her second baby at 14. I'm like, damn, that's, you know, getting your groove on pretty early. But in honor of the Queen of Soul, the princess of popish music, I'm going to sing my favorite Aretha Franklin song, and I'm going to have backup vocals from David and producer James.
Not sure I could do this.
You can do it. Don't be scared. Okay. You guys ready? I'm sure we have to do the whole I do not own the rights to this music that we're about to play.
Well, that's okay. The two white guys are basically your manager. So
Got
just
it.
like Aretha.
Y'all ready?
No.
Get out on the morning rain. I used to feel so uninspired. Y'all are fired. When I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Here we go. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. You're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel. Come on, everybody.
You make
Y'all
me
suck.
feel.
You make me feel like a natural woman. All right, Aretha, that was to you. I'm sure she probably died after she heard that.
She just died. I'm sorry.
She's rolling over in her
just
grave now because
It went from natural causes to suicide immediately.
All right, when we get back, I'm going to have David, my co-host for this evening, introduce you to himself and his world.
Yeah,
Kind of like that. All right, we'll be right back. Femme Fatale is the fully equipped boutique-style gym and fitness club that is taking a new and innovative approach to women's health and fitness. Our main goal is to provide a comfortable and completely judgment-free venue for women of all ages and fitness levels to come exercise and feel like a positive, fit family. We understand the busy lifestyle of today's women, so we also provide 30 minutes to 1 hour fitness classes, including the newest trends like boot camps, yoga, and body bar. We also offer a break room for school-aged children to hang out, as well as a tanning bed and sauna. We are located at 689 FM 517 West in Dickinson, Texas, and our phone number is 281-678-8037. Mention the Libra Lounge and get $10 off your initiation fee. We look forward to growing our fit family with you. Hey. So I am here with my guest co-host, David Lindblom.
Thank you for getting that right, by the way.
You're so welcome. That $20 helped me to remember how to pronounce it correctly. So introduce yourself to the Libra Lounge audience.
I am David Lindblom, and I am also known as Gideon Lightbringer, the Baron of Stormwall.
Gideon.
So there's a lot of people named David.
Yes. I know,
so in our game world, we pick up a persona.
Okay.
So that we have less of a chance of having the same name used out on the field. And Gideon was what I picked.
Well, I don't know if you know this or not, Gideon, but I also go by Lady of Glencoe, as you can see on my certificate right here. Lady of Glencoe, correct? That's what my husband calls me in bed. Just kidding. I don't sleep in the same bed as him.
You got to explain, though, why are you a lady?
I am a Lady of Glencoe because James felt the need to buy me a little, like, I don't even know how big it is, like a little strip of property in Scotland.
As he said earlier, it's big enough.
Big enough
to be a lady.
That's what he tried to convince me of, and I was
for a title.
I was disappointed. So I have a little small piece of land in Scotland, which entitles me to be a lady. Which, if you know me, I'm the polar opposite. Okay, so David.
So henceforth, you'll be Lady Keisha.
Lady Keisha. I think I like that. I really do. You can call me Lady Keisha for the remainder of this show.
Will do.
Okay, so David, tell us what it is that you do, because not a lot of people know about LARP. So explain to us what it is.
So LARP is live action role playing, and I see it as an umbrella term. It covers a wide variety of games. Mm-hmm. And so there is the more historical focused, like the SCA, Society for Creative Anachronism. And they are really deep into the historical medieval time period of it, and will do combat using armor and everything, but they're also into the history. And then there is the heavily role-playing aspect groups. You've got a game called Nero, another one, which is Dystopia Rising, and they'll create one character, mm-hmm. and that character may exist for days, weeks, or years mm-hmm. until that character dies, and that's it. They've got to come up with a new character.
So is it kind of like Dungeons and Dragons?
Most of these games are going to have a draw from that group of players, to where our game is a medieval fantasy-based game, and so it is heavily like Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. But then you're going to have other games similar to ours that are going to be, and ours is a foam combat game. So you're going to have other foam combat games that ignore the magic part of it, mm-hmm. but ours embraces that. Okay. And so we have warriors and we have wizards mm-hmm. and everywhere in between.
Do y'all have black people out there? Tell the truth, David. Don't lie. I know y'all don't.
We do. It's a very diverse
You have black people out there?
One of the first guys I met, Sir Bloodmoon, was one of the first men that I met going to an Amtgard event was
black.
He's a black guy.
He was married to a white woman, though.
I don't think he's married.
Because he's gay.
No.
Yes.
I don't know. You'd have to ask him directly.
He was.
I'm not making that up for himself.
I'm willing to bet.
He's a nice guy.
I'm sure he is a nice guy, but I'm sure he's going to be married to a white woman, or he's gay. You don't have any thugnificence out there playing with you guys, do you?
There's plenty of guys who can get really into it. I mean, it is a combat sport, and there are plenty of guys who it's very athleticism for the guys who are going to perform and do tournaments and do the high-end fighting.
Right.
I am nowhere near that. I go out recreationally. I play. I have fun. Mm-hmm. I'm not really getting into the tournaments, nor do I expect to place really high. Mm-hmm. But there's guys who that's their fun in it. But the fun of the game is different for different people. Mm-hmm. So you'll have like my kids will come out and they'll join me on the field, but mm-hmm. they go around and they take some of these things. What
are these?
Spell balls.
And so, what do they? Is there Coke in here?
There is like a rubber foam stress ball.
Oh, okay.
So it's just.
So I won't steal it from you.
You can check it out for a little bit. But I'll go give it to the kids.
I'm gonna put these right here so everyone can see them.
Now, sometimes my kids will come out and play, and we'll have them play with like the other kids on the field. Sometimes they'll join us. The game, I have to say, is geared at the 14-year-olds and up. Mm-hmm. Though, depending upon who's on the field, if it's combat intensive, I won't let the kids go out there and field because it's just as a danger. It's a hazard.
People really hit each other,
but they're sitting there hitting each other, and it's foam covered weapons,
right?
And it has like a core, so it's. I've got
let's see it.
So this guy here. Now they're not very heavy. We're not trying to hit people with bats here.
But you can fuck someone up with this.
You can hit enough times, or I've gotten hit in the face, and if my glasses go across it and bloody my nose or something with
I'm gonna
or a
keep
scratch.
This for when James is out of line.
And just tell him, show him 1-4. No, it's a game of speed. Mm-hmm. we're not trying to take the heaviest weapons out there and hit hard.
Right.
If you hear an audible pop off your arm, then you know you've taken a hit.
Okay.
And I know we've got some video to show later, so you'll see some of that combat going.
Producer James came out there with y'all, and I heard that there's a guy out there named Oz. Oz.
Shout out to Oz.
I don't know if you're watching this evening, or if anyone who knows Oz is watching this evening, but if you are, Oz, I heard you were talking shit to my husband. I'm looking for you, Oz. I'm going to find you, Oz. And when I find you, I'm going to have this. But it's going to have spikes on it.
We'll make one with foam spikes, and you can have fun with it.
No, I want real ones. Come on. Okay, so why do you think that people are really turning to live action role playing?
The draw of it for me is I sit in an office, work my butt on, at a computer 8 hours a day.
That was cute how you said butt instead of ass.
Yeah.
He works his ass off, y'all.
I sit on my butt, but so it gets me out of the office, out of the house, take the kids, we go out to the park. You can do park stuff, whatever, while you're there, basketball, something, but instead we go out and hit each other with foam swords. But
I think that's great because, we live in a society that everything is right there for us behind a computer screen, our phone, and kids don't really know what it's like to go outside and really play, like we did. So I think that's great that that's something that's been created where adults can go out and have fun and de-stress. I think that's, part of why people go around just kind of shooting each other and stupid shit like that, You can go somewhere and, get some of that aggression out like Oz did when he was talking shit to my husband. So let me ask you, do you guys often get called geeks or nerds or maybe modern day geeks and nerds?
We call each other that. We recognize that. I personally think everybody's a nerd about something.
Yes.
If you look at some of the guys who go out and dress up for paint their face, whatever, go to a football game, have a lot of fun with that. It's that's a football nerd, really. Right. We just paint our faces blue, more Celtic blue, wear a kilt, run around being nerds of a different kind.
Right. So how do you develop the characters?
Well, in our game, each to each his own, really. My character Gideon, I slowly developed it because we had a couple different stories that were going on when I lived up in Dallas, and so he became a captain of a boat, and the kids, we started calling them muck hobbits, and the muck hobbits developed their own story, and so I started becoming like a captain of these muck hobbits, and it was really a story that we just kind of tell each other, and there wasn't a whole lot of the story that was happening on the field. We would go out and do some of these quests, but that's where the role-playing aspect was. It's like role-play light in our game. We focus heavily on the action because the game is going to exist, and it runs. We do like capture the flag, capture the king of the castle, king of the hill, whatever, castle siege games, and you'll run out and you'll die, but then you go back to a spawn spot like in a video game.
Okay.
And so you'll die 5, 6, 7 times during the course of this game, and so it works more like a video game.
Okay.
And so our game is it's role play light, but some of these characters, you pick a persona, you try to get in from like day one, and be like, okay, I'm Gideon, and half the guys out there will call me Gideon, some of them will call me David.
Right.
There's one little kid out there who just, even when we're not at a LARP event, he calls me Gideon just 24/7. Which is fine.
You're gonna be like, look, dude, I done tried to explain to you on numerous different occasions that my real name is not Gideon. When you see me at Kroger, you call me David, Mr. David, Mr. Lindblom.
I'm completely fine if he finds me at Kroger or whatever, and he runs up and says, "Hey, Gideon," whatever. I know who he's talking about. That's something that we have in common,
right?
And
he's totally not calling anyone else in Kroger. He has to be talking to you.
Yes. So and so it's kind of like that's where some of the the real life to the character bleeds over, and that's fine. And so if you create your character from day one, it's your persona, it's your name, and but when you get into the game, it's totally dependent upon the group that you're with. If you're going to write up stories that involve your character's like names or your background or your stories that go with it, and so comparing it to like D&D where there's like heavy story driven stuff and it's your character heavily involved in the story, that's where I think our game kind of draws a line, or you'll see dissimilarities,
right?
And because it's like role play light.
So Gideon, I'm going to let you create a character for me. What would my name be? Just based off of, you and I have been talking for a couple of weeks on Facebook about, getting ready for this interview. We got to hang out here for, about 30 minutes. So create me.
Now, there are a few people in the game who, because of the uniqueness, if you will, of their name, can actually take their name and that is their persona there at the game.
Okay.
So I haven't met Lakeisha yet.
It's Rakisha, actually.
Rakisha, sorry.
It's Rakisha.
And
so you can keep that name?
Even if you were out there as Keisha, that'd be fine. Now, the lady part that you may officially have because you've got the plaque and everything that says it, within our game, you wouldn't actually have an official title unless you've earned it.
Aw, man, I want to come in with a title. I don't want to earn
come
my
in with
titles. Man,
sorry.
You can't.
So we have...
Let me make it.
Sirs, and we have ladies, and we have knighthood, which is this... So we have... It's an order process. And it's due to recognition. So you're either going to be recognized for creating art or creating games, or if you are really good in service and helping out run the organization. And you can also be really good at fighting and get to a knighthood within these orders or at the end of these orders.
Can you be really good at talking shit? Because I think I would go straight up into what's the highest level? What's the highest title I could get?
The Order of the Shit Talker is...
Yes!
We'll have to make that one up for you.
David actually cussed.
Is it really cussing as much if it's a description? No, that's right. Yeah. There's plenty of guys out there that can talk.
Right.
So you'd have a lot of competition.
Okay.
But it's... I had a thought. I totally just lost it, whatever.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sure it'll pop up to you. So let me ask you, what does your family think about you participating in LARP? What is your organization's name? I think we missed that part.
The organization is Amtgard, or sometimes I call it Amtgard. I don't know why. I just do.
Amtgard?
But Amtgard. So Amtgard.com, and that's where all the information can be looked at. The rule book, which I brought a copy of the rule book with me here. This guy here. So we have like this 80-page rule book in there that describes how to play and the safety behind it.
This looks like the Shire from Lord of the Rings.
There's plenty of that influence in there.
Is there?
Now, you're asking me about my family, and
yes.
So let me tell you, the way I got started into this, I was at work, and one of the guys behind me in one of the cubicles goes out and he plays disc golf. And he comes in one day and he's talking about how he was out playing disc golf at this park. And then there's all these crazy guys out in the middle of the field running at each other with these foam swords and yelling and screaming and like counting numbers. And he couldn't figure it out, but he had seen it a couple of times and was describing it to me. I go home and tell my wife, and she's like, "That's great. We should go check that out." She's the introvert one of the two of us.
Okay. And
I'm like, "You want to go check that? All right, fine. We'll go check it out. It sounds cool too. I just didn't think you'd be into it."
Right.
So we go out there, and then after a time or two of checking it out, she's like, "I don't want to get hit by strangers. I'm done with this. I don't need to do this." But
that's all you.
I fell in love with it, and I was like, "Well, this is great. These are my people.
Right.
This is great." And since I could bring the kids out to it, and at the time there were other kids at that park, and shout out to my home park, which was Midnight Sun up in Dallas.
Sun, okay.
And they're part of the Kingdom of the Emerald Hills, and there's like 20 kingdoms.
Okay.
Across the United States. You can have a queen. We just had one. It's like the president of the club, and we have monarchs is really the title, so it's king or queen depending upon who it is. But we have individual parks in each of these kingdoms. So we've got, I think, 3 or 4 kingdoms here just in Texas.
Okay.
And sometimes they cross state lines. And so Southeast Texas, we are living in the wetlands.
The wetlands. So where does the name Barony of Stormwall come from? What is that? Is that your group?
That is our group. That is our park.
Okay.
And it was created in Luke Wingard's front yard, backyard, and in his yard about 25 years ago.
Okay.
And was there for a couple of times on Galveston Island. And so that name, Stormwall, comes from the seawall. Got
you. Oh! That makes perfect sense. Stormwall. Got it. Okay.
Well, they were there, and then they moved over to Fort Travis out on the Boulevard Peninsula. and they were there for like a year or so. But having to take the ferry out to do all that mess, whatever, they found a better park, which is the Jack Brooks Park in Hitchcock, Texas.
Okay.
And so it's been there for about 25 years.
Okay.
And about every Saturday,
y'all are out there.
We go out there and we find.
Do y'all have like big conventions? So, I mean, is this on a national or international level?
It's on an international level. I've heard, I don't know specifically international. I mean, I know there are some in Canada. Mm-hmm. I've heard of like an army base in Kuwait kind of a thing, mm-hmm. or in Japan. And so it's an international presence. I don't know the details outside of.
I bet you in Japan, they don't put foam on their weapons. They just use weapons.
Sticks.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so what was it? A couple of weekends ago, you guys, I don't know what you call it. Is it like a competition, a meeting, or I don't know what the correct technical term is to use. A gathering?
Well, we have a bunch of events every year.
Okay.
And so at the park level, every Saturday we're meeting up. But then about every 3 months or so, we have a kingdom level event.
Okay.
The last kingdom event that we had for our park, we had a beach day. We went down to the Galveston beaches and hung out there. And so anybody from around the kingdom is invited to come down and join us there. And normally at kingdom events, you have the kingdom officers, which is going to be your king or queen, the prime minister, regent, and we've got a couple other officers too. And they'll try and join us at these kingdom events. Mm-hmm. And they try and spread the love by going to different parks and visiting with them throughout their reign. And mm-hmm. each reign is like 6 months long.
Okay.
So during that 6 months, you have about every 3 months, we'll go and have a large event. And this weekend is actually going to be one of these large events, Colmsneil, Texas.
Okay.
They're going to have Colmsneil. I think I'm saying that
really?
right. It's like 2.5 hours northeast out of here.
I've never heard of that place.
I didn't either until this.
Okay, I bet they have like one red light and cornfields.
Maybe.
Yeah, watch out for the children of the corn.
I've been out there once or twice, and it's a really pretty low-key city.
Is it?
Driving through, rural Texas.
Right.
But the draw of it is that we got this really sweet front of a castle built up out there.
No.
Yes. And so you get like 100, 200. We had 300 people there last April.
Really?
And we had 50 versus 50 out on the battlefield. Mm-hmm. So it gets to be a pretty good size event. And you've got a castle wall to go fight up against and bust in the doors and have a good time with that.
What kind of food do y'all eat? Do y'all have like the big, turkey legs and stuff like that? Do y'all really?
The fair food?
Yes. I mean, because if you want me to ever come out, because I don't like outside. I'm allergic to it because it's not cute and it's hot. But you could win me over if there's good food.
We've got some really good cooks.
Okay.
And they have some really good food.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen one of those giant Renaissance Festival drumsticks out there yet. But we had, what was it?
Sell it. Come on, sell it to me. Sell it to me. Sell it to me.
We had, I'm trying to think of what it was. It was ribs, but I'm trying to think of pork something.
That's all you have to say.
Or lamb chops. We had all sorts of stuff.
You got me sold when you said ribs. I can't eat lamb chops because I just can't. It's a lamb. Yeah. I can't do it. But I may have to check it out.
We've got some really good cooks.
How pissed off would everyone be if you showed up with me dressed as a queen at a big crown and everything and said, I know you guys, I know we have rules and regulations, but I'm Gideon, and so I decided she's gonna be the queen for today. That's it. I don't want to hear nothing. If y'all don't like it, y'all can leave.
Probably have a lot of booze, maybe a few people heckling. But they would also invite you in and just to be like, you can come in here. But you're not the queen.
Well, I'm going to come in and yes, I am the queen. Okay, so producer James actually went out and fought with you guys. He became, I guess, a day of member of the Barony of Stormwall. So when we get back, we've got actual live footage of James out there getting his ass kicked, which is just hilarious. And I can't wait to share with all the interwebs. So stick with the Libra Lounge. We'll be right back. If you're searching for a one-stop shop with amazing 100% virgin human hair extensions and healthy and sulfate-free styling products, we'll look no further because the Million Hairs has all of your top-of-the-line hair and hair care needs. Located in Texas City, the Million Hairs is a locally owned hair boutique. To check out their products, bundle deals, wigs, mink lashes, and more, visit them at 10000 Emmett F. Lowry Expressway Suite 4000, Unit 200D, Texas City, Texas 77591. Or you can email them at info@themillionharris.com or call 843-800-2550, or you can check out their website at themillionharris.com. Don't forget to mention the Libra Lounge for a 20% discount. Use code Libra20. Hi, we're back. I was sitting here looking at my phone and just
yes,
totally
that's
okay.
me.
Welcome back to the Libra Lounge. I have David Lindblom in the studio with me today, otherwise known as Gideon. I don't remember all the other stuff you said after Gideon.
Gideon's good.
He is with the Barony of Stormwall, which is a LARP, which means live action role playing. How often do you get asked, does it have anything to do with sex role playing?
You're the first one.
No, I'm not. I cannot possibly be
when I'm
the
talking
first
with
person.
friends, I normally say, hey, me and my family go out to the park. And so it's normally, okay, we're at the park.
Family could be like your little name for your dick and balls. Could it not be? I think it could be.
And we hit each other with foam swords. I don't know.
I cannot
It's in
believe
the
I'm the only
description.
person that has asked you, does it have anything to do with sex? Really? No. They're thinking it.
Maybe.
They think it.
But if they know me, they look at me, they're like, no.
You could be a total freak in the sheets.
Maybe, but you wouldn't know.
I don't know. What's your wife's name? I'm going to call her.
She's right there.
Is she on? Is she watching?
She is watching.
What's her name?
Hello.
What's her name?
Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. How are you? Okay. Does David have an anaconda?
Oh, geez.
I swear I'm gonna leave you alone. Thanks for watching, Sarah. Okay, so you guys met up like a couple of Saturdays ago, and producer James went out to join the festivities, and we have some clips that we're gonna show. And David, if you can kind of just walk us through what we're seeing, that would be great. This is actually pretty funny from what I saw.
All right, so we'll get this play in here in a second, but what you'll see, we're warming up in one of these, just kind of everybody hitting each other, and we have different games that we'll do. So we have battle games where, is that the same clip? Are you already playing it? Or is okay.
Okay.
So, we've got different battle games that we'll do, like the King of the Hill or the Capture the Flag stuff, but we also will form what we call ditch lines. And it's just a constant warm-up where we'll fight each other back and forth over and over again as just kind of like a warm-up or for fun or just because you get bored.
That's a warm-up? That looks like a whole workout to me.
It's definitely a workout. You can get your aerobics in for the day.
Okay.
For the week, really. One of the games that we're playing out there with the kids is a form of soccer meets croquet meets polo meets football. So you're trying to hit this ball with your sword and get it through a goal.
Okay,
and that's just one of the things that we go on, just kind of goof around and play with.
Okay.
And so some of the times we'll play by the full rule set, and sometimes we'll set the rules to the side and go out and just kind of beat each other senseless within.
Gotcha. Okay. Now what's this guy right here doing?
All right, so that is Sir Chewie, and he is doing some foam thing.
Okay.
So eventually, once he's done with that, it's going to be a helmet and the Viking theme.
Okay.
So he sprays all the foam together, glues it, and he's got his tools out there as he's sanding it down and preparing it, and then he's going to go and paint it. And when it's done, it should look like real metal.
Okay.
He's trying to add some dents into it and make it look battle ready, battle damaged.
Gotcha. So, like, I mean, can someone just come out there and say, I want to buy that?
And the neck piece goes on like
We
this.
have vendors, and there's plenty of stuff.
Back here?
If I make a sword and somebody's like, hey, can I buy your sword? I'll be like, okay, let's figure this out. Or I'll make you another one because this one's mine. But
okay, cool.
we have lots of craft vendors.
And is that every time y'all meet?
He was out there preparing something that I think he's going to use this upcoming weekend at one of the Kingdom events.
Okay.
And so if anybody's watching, it's like, haha, yes, that's what he's doing. But,
all right, there's my boo producer, James.
so that's one of the ditch lines that we're
A ditch
doing.
line.
So you've got a team on the left, team on the right, and you go until one team is alive or has at least one person left alive, and the other team is dead.
Okay.
And then the winning team loses their first player who died. It goes to the other team. And then you start over. You just keep going until you retire or want a water break or whatnot.
Hey, James.
But yeah, there's James there in the black. I'm out there with the brown
Is he doing
shield and the
good?
blue.
Is he doing good?
He held his own and did really well.
No.
The guys who are out there on the field are some of the, they're pretty intense fighters.
And which one are you? Are you the one with the blue with the brown
I'm right in the
shield?
middle. Yeah.
In the middle?
Blue, brown shield.
Okay.
I should probably have that shield a lot higher up on my shoulder, but
Okay. It looks good from where I'm at.
yeah.
It looks good.
Watching myself in like over and over in loops here is.
Is that Oz right there
stuff.
that just passed us on the screen?
Yes.
Oz?
And there's Oz taking out the camera. I think so.
Yeah, Oz took the camera out.
No.
Yes, he did.
Oz, okay, now, see, you were talking shit to my boo. You're knocking over the Libra Lounge cameras. I mean, I think Oz may need some anger management classes or something like that. I don't know. He doesn't seem sweet like you, David. I don't know.
Oz is a great guy.
Tell Oz I said to call me.
We'll do. We'll pass
Thank
it
you. Thank you. Okay,
heard
so
it
is
here.
this just the loop right here or is this something different? Okay. So, I mean, like, what do you do? Like, if someone hits someone else too hard, I mean, do you say, time out, he hit me too hard, my nose is bleeding, I can't do it anymore, he's cheating?
We do have safety calls.
Okay.
And so I was hoping you
Who's
actually had
Douglas
the clip.
Chambers?
That is Sir Chewy.
Oh,
Hi, Joey.
hi.
That was
Can
the
you
guy
make
doing
me
the
one
phone.
of those things, but in pink with glitter and rhinestones? And
Make it happen.
he's probably like, oh, hell no. Okay, who's Rachel?
Also one of our perk members. So
Hi, Rachel.
she is the regent of Stormwall, which is our art person.
Okay, cool.
And so the regent, the monarch, or the baron title is voted in and elected positions, and you hold that for 6 months.
Okay, cool. So are you an elected official?
I am.
What is your...
So I'm the monarch of Stormwall, the baron of Stormwall, because depending upon the size of your park, you have a different title. So I'm not going to be...
the size of your park.
yeah.
I know that means something else, David. He's like,
You're trying to go. Keep trying to go there.
the size of his park.
And
gotcha.
so, because the game, the organization has like the orders that we were discussing earlier, you have certain privileges that you can do within the game. If you have a larger park, you get the opportunity to award higher ranks. And so if you have a small park, you can only issue out like an order like first or second. You have to have a larger park to be able to get first, second, third, or fourth. And then you can actually award out more if you have a larger park. And if you're stuck at a smaller park and you're trying to get higher orders, that's where the kingdom comes in, because they can issue out the top end awards and give recognition to somebody who has achieved beyond maybe what their park is allowed to do within the game.
Now, let me ask you, I know you guys are out there having fun and doing role playing, but do you ever encounter someone who's just doing way too much? They're just too extra for even this, that you're like, you have to have a meeting and say, you know what, we're going to have to pull Louis off to the side. Louis is just he's doing too much. He's taking this too far. He's getting on everyone's nerves. Someone go over there, hit Louis upside the head. He's just doing too much.
During each battle game, we have a person out there that acts as the referee. We call them a reeve. And
Okay.
if they see some craziness going on, or if there's a rule calling, that's their job.
Okay.
And if it's a matter of safety, like if somebody gets hit in the head, they can actually call a safety. Everybody stops play, and we can check on a person and make sure they're okay. If somebody's acting crazy, they can pull them off the field and be like, you're just not playing out here today.
What's the craziest thing that someone has done out there? Besides Oz, talking shit about my husband.
Well, that's
I really
what I was
don't
talking
care,
about
Oz. I'll
when we
talk
were
shit
looking at the
about him all the time.
videos. I was actually kind of hoping there was one shot Oz put one like right across my head, and I was down on my knees going, and my ears were ringing for half a
Are
second.
you serious?
I was wondering if that shot was going to show up. Which is like, okay, I'm fine. It's just foam across the head. doesn't make it hurt less when your ears ring, but
yeah, I mean, because this going across my head seems like it would hurt.
It can.
It would piss me off for damn sure.
Headshots in our game are not even supposed to. They don't count for killing you or losing an arm or taking damage, but they still hurt.
Right.
And so we try to avoid hitting people in the head. And like people like me, I wear glasses, so I'm out on the field. Yeah. I've got my backup pair of glasses that I wear out there, just in case something happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen people. I mean, I had one a couple weeks ago, whatever, where you block just right, and it's really just wrong, and you bruise or break your hand.
People break bones and stuff out there. I think I'm way too cute to be out there. I think y'all would be intense. Like, you know what? She don't want to get dirty. She don't want to run. She just want to sit on a throne. No, this is not for you. You just go away, Lady of Glencairn.
But we have plenty of people who aren't on the field and fighting, and they're still sitting off to the side and kind of talking shop. You know,
Douglas says he has broken ribs out there. How do you break your ribs? Like, what are you doing to break ribs?
Now, it's Texas, and it's hot. And so you don't see that in the videos right now, but we have plate mail. People out there in full metal plates of armor running around. And if you get tackled by one of those guys because they step wrong or you run into them accidentally, then, you know, accidents happen.
Right.
But you got 30 to 50 pounds worth of metal on you, and accident's going to happen. But
Douglas, you need to... someone just said... Mark said he broke his nose a few times.
An ankle. Yeah. Oh
my God. Who broke an ankle?
Rachel's in there.
Are you... Okay, now this is... Okay.
It's a sport. And just like, you know, all sports, you go out there is a risk of injury.
Okay, so I don't, this is not for me because I don't want my makeup to be messed up. I don't want to mess up my hair. I don't want to break any fingernails.
Wear war paint that is going to be, you know, water resistant and...
I feel like, you know, people, what? Someone dislocated. She also dislocated her jaw.
I'm sure we could go on with a list of injuries.
Okay, well, Rachel is the person who broke her jaw? Okay, see, Rachel, that's kind of bitch you don't want to fuck with. Because you know what? If I would have broke a jaw out there, I would have been like, I'm suing. I'm forever the queen. Everyone bring me your gold. You know what I mean? You guys are... tough. I mean, you know, I'm sure people now it's cool to be a geek or a nerd, but I'm sure some people hear about what you do and don't give any kind of respect to it. But geez.
Well, you found this because I was posting an invitation in one of the local groups, and there's a heckler in every group normally that I'll go out, I'll post an invitation, hey, you know, come out, have some fun with us at the park.
People do not come out there just to be jerks.
They haven't yet, fortunately. Okay. At least not since I've been there. Mm-hmm. But it has a history. We've been there for 25 years. There's stuff has happened. But now it's been really pretty good. And we've got a good group of guys out there.
Yeah.
A couple of families that are coming out. And
y'all got some tough ass chicks out there too.
We do.
Rachel. I'm scared of Rachel a little bit. I don't know. I don't think I would talk shit to Rachel.
They're intense.
It sounds like it. So, you know, I saw you made a post, you know, inviting people to come out, watch or join. And I was like, hey, that looks pretty cool. That would be an interesting topic. And then my husband came home. He's like, hey, I saw this guy. And we were both talking about you. I was like, yeah, I've already contacted him. And Douglas says he's been playing 23 years. And you think, I'm sure there's a lot of stigma against nerds. But now it's kind of cute because, like, I always tell women, marry a nerd because they treat you right and they're smart, so they're always going to make good money.
I mean, there's lots of nerds, especially when it comes to, like, fandom. Fandom is the in thing right now. You've got the Pokemon Go game, and, I mean, we were talking about that last weekend and making it's a big deal. I mean, you've had how many people getting up and getting out and playing Pokemon Go?
Yeah. Shit was crazy when my daughter had me.
I mean, it's still going. It's still strong.
Yeah.
But you have also, like, you know, the guys who like Star Wars, and Star Wars after 30 years has, you know, re-released a whole new set of stuff. And then there's also all the Harry Potter stuff.
Me.
And so, you know, everybody who has their fandom, normally they find a friend in this group. And
I think it's fun.
It's like family.
It's an escape from reality. I'm really big into Harry Potter. Really big. I was really big into Twilight. And once you find someone who's into those things like you are, you can talk about it for, oh gosh, what is that, a wand?
That is. So we actually had a Harry Potter themed rain a couple weeks back. And so it was last April that we had our big castle event and Castlemania. So I'll toss toss an ad out there. Castlemania happens in April.
Castlemania happens every
So we
April?
had a like Harry Potter themed event, and so battle games were styled around games that would have, I don't know Harry Potter all that well. The Dementors and all that kind of stuff, and we were trying
So everyone's trying to fight the Dementors,
right?
Okay, gotcha.
And so I made that for that theme,
cool.
and because it is within the game guidelines, whatever, it has to be certain length, thickness, and whatnot. And so they don't want the tiny sharp objects running around on the field. And so that one, it's like 1/2 inch, I think, is the minimum, just to make sure that it's safety first, is where all the rules are geared for. So I made that one for that rain, and we allowed wands to have extra benefits, and so it was kind of like a wand heavy rain. The next one coming up in next April is going to have a more Game of Thrones theme to it.
Really?
And for the kids, it's supposed to be How to Train Your Dragon. But
gotcha. Because they don't want to see Cersei walking down naked, getting spat on.
Shame.
I think that's pretty cool. I would love to come and see that. I don't want to participate because I don't want a broken jaw, ankle, rib, none of that. So, okay, when we get back, David is going to give us all the contact information if any of you guys are interested in joining or just to go out there and watch or perhaps purchase a wand.
There you go.
We'll be right back.
Hey folks, have you thought about having your own podcast but are worried it's too expensive or too hard to produce? Well, you're in luck. Pink Phoenix Media, the company that's brought you such shows as the Libra Lounge with Keisha, Going Deep with Leon and Keisha, and our brand new show, the Manticore Media Podcast, is here to offer you the chance to have your own podcast professionally recorded, produced, and broadcasted. We offer very affordable rates, flexible schedule, and everything you need to make your media dreams come true. Check us out and email us at sales@pinkphoenixmedia.net.
I'm sorry, I did it again. I was watching the show on my phone, and
it's a
couple of seconds. There's a delay, so I'm thinking,
you're like, well, they're going,
we're still good. And he's like, live. I'm like, huh? What? Okay, so David Lindblom has been educating us about the world of a LARP, live action role playing. If what's your contact information? If people have questions or want to come out and join or just watch, how can they find you?
If you're watching nationally, you can go to the Amtgard.com main page, scroll to the bottom, has a link, find a park, and it pulls up a map of the United States, and you can go zoom in locally, find something local to you, and go visit them. If you're local to us, every Saturday, 1 o'clock in Hitchcock at Jack Brooks Park. Come visit us out there. There's also other surrounding parks around Houston and Lake Jackson, and so we'd love it if you could come and visit us if you're close, like you guys are. But if you're around Houston or Lake Jackson, there's, the kingdom of the wetlands is welcoming.
So if there's one thing that you want to let our audience know about Barony of Stormwall, what would it be?
It's a tight-knit group of guys and girls and kids, whatever, in the family. And I've been out there for 2 years now, and just have enjoyed playing with these guys. And yes, we're just a bunch of nerds, but we want to have other guys who have similar interests come out and play. And like James experienced last weekend, you've got to just kind of come and see it and break whatever expectation you think you have in your head, and just check it out once. Yeah. And then you'll either love it or you won't.
Yeah, he's been talking about it ever since he went out there. So, well, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to come and visit the Libra Lounge. You did fantastic.
Well, thanks for the invite. It's been fun being out here.
It was fun. You are more than welcome to come back anytime. Well, if you're a friend of the lounge, you know that it is time for Bitch Please.
Bitch Please! You be Rolling down the street, telling stories. Bitch, you never tell the truth. Bitch, please. Everybody know you lying, bitch, cause all you do is lie.
Alrighty, so normally a bitch please goes to a celebrity. Every now and then it will go to someone local, someone who's just been a total ass, and it will give them the bitch please of the week. We were discussing before the show, I was like, I don't have a bitch please of the week. And I was just really just kind of like recapping on everything. I'm like, I couldn't find anybody, because the bitch please of the week is going to go to me. I get the bitch please of the week because today is my 4-year wedding anniversary to producer James.
Congratulations.
And thank you. I completely forgot.
Tisk.
In my own defense, I tried to defend myself, because of lots of stuff going on. We, you guys may know I'm an event planner. I've got a wedding this week. We've got filming this week, back to school, planning other events, getting, shirt orders for people, all of that good stuff. But then he's like, but Keisha, you always forget. Like, he will ask me, do you remember when our anniversary is? And I'm like, yes, it's either August 13th, 14th, or 15th. I can never remember which one it is, but it is August the 15th. So I want to apologize in front of everyone to my husband for forgetting our anniversary for the 4th year in a row. Thank you for all that you do for me, and everything you do for the show. You're still not getting any booty tonight because I'm tired. That's why I'm going to get a bitch please of the week for next week too. So anything you want to say, producer James, about how wonderful it is to be married to me, how joyous it is to wake up to my smiling face every day?
I pretty much think you covered it.
Oh, thank you so much. Should I end the show with another Aretha?
I
think we need to do it again. You have to. No, we have to. We're going to do this again. My backup singers have got to do a better job than what y'all did.
We need some karaoke with a bouncing ball.
We don't have time for karaoke. I'm going to watch my cues. Okay? Watch my cues. So we're going to try this again. This goes out to the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. This is my favorite Aretha song. It is You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. We tried to get it together earlier. The boys, they drink your water, get your pipes ready. They failed me as my backup singers. So we're going to try this one more again. And hopefully you too, James, because you were supposed to sing it with David. Let's try this again.
I think I heard him more, and I just couldn't get it because I was like, oh, there's my cue. And, I'm late.
Y'all are both about to get fired because y'all are making me look bad. Okay?
No, we just make you look better because we're...
Here we go. Watch me, David. Looking out on the morning rain. I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. We'll be back, guys, next week. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind, but you're the key to my peace of mind, 'cause you make me feel, come on, you make me feel like a natural woman. Thanks for watching the Libra Lounge, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Come visit us at Stormwall.
Thank you, David.
Yes.
Oh.